The biggest mistake a man can make is believing that when a woman leaves, his world collapses. That thought alone has broken more men than heartbreak itself. Society programs you to think her absence means you're unworthy, as if her validation is the fuel that keeps your heart beating. From childhood, you're told that success in love is measured by whether she stays, whether she approves, whether she chooses you. But the truth is much harder, much simpler, and much freer. If she can walk away, she was never truly yours. Love that disappears at the first sign of difficulty was never love at all. It was convenience dressed up as loyalty. When she leaves, it doesn't mean the story is finished. It means her part in it has ended. She's not the entire book, brother. She's only a chapter. And you are the one holding the pen. What destroys most men isn't her departure, but the clinging that follows. They hold on to the ghost of what once was, begging for a presence that already left them in spirit long before it left in body. And in doing so, they chain themselves to a memory, a shadow, an illusion. When you finally understand that, when you realize her absence is not the end but the unveiling of who she really was, you stop grieving like you lost everything. You see it for what it is, freedom disguised as loss. Because what you think you're mourning isn't really her, it's the validation she gave you. The comfort of being chosen, the little nods of approval, the sense of security in her attention. That's what most men weep over. But validation is the weakest leash a woman can place around your neck. The moment it breaks, you're not destroyed, you're free. And when you stand on that freedom, you'll realize she was never your heir, never your lifeline. She was simply a page that turned. The most fragile leash a woman can ever hold over a man is validation. That little nod of approval, that smile when you do something right, that feeling of being wanted, it feels powerful in the moment, but it's nothing more than a thin thread. If her absence causes you to collapse, then you were never truly standing tall on your own legs. You were leaning on her, mistaking dependence for connection. That's why the men who crumble when she leaves never realize they weren't losing love, they were losing their crutch. The day you stop needing her approval to feel complete is the day you step into a kind of strength most men will never taste. No woman can break a man who validates himself. That inner validation is iron. It's the foundation of being untouchable. This is why fearing her departure is the wrong fear. You shouldn't fear losing her, you should fear never becoming the kind of man who can stand without her. The paradox is powerful. The less you cling, the less you worry, the less you need her presence to breathe, the more magnetic you become. Women feel that. They sense it in your silence, in your calm, in the way you carry yourself. Detachment isn't coldness, it's strength. It's the unspoken message that says, I choose you, but I don't depend on you. That kind of energy is irresistible because it creates mystery and security at the same time. Men who panic, who beg, who try to prove themselves every second push women away by suffocating them. But the man who knows deep down that he will survive and even thrive if she walks away never has to beg her to stay. His calm presence alone unsettles her, because she feels what most men can't project, certainty. And certainty is rare. When a woman leaves, men often assume it's a direct reflection of their failure. They torment themselves with endless questions. What did I do wrong? Could I have changed it? Was I not enough? But this way of thinking is flawed. A woman's departure doesn't always reveal your shortcomings, it often reveals her instability. Women live in emotional seasons. One day you are the warmth of summer, the source of joy and comfort she craves. Another day she longs for the chill of winter, something different, something new. Her emotions can shift without logic, and no amount of reasoning can fight against that tide. You can be the most consistent, disciplined, and stable man, yet if she's caught in a storm of her own shifting desires, she may still choose to go. That is not a verdict on your worth. It's an exposure of her inability to anchor herself. Most men try to rationalize her leaving, searching for answers that don't exist. But you can't win against the cycles of her emotions. Trying to hold back the tide will only drown you. What you must see is that her leaving is not loss, it's revelation. It unmasks her character. It shows you the conditions under which she truly loved you. If her affection fades when challenges appear, then it was never unconditional. If her loyalty breaks under pressure, then it was never real loyalty. Her presence was tied to circumstance, her love stamped with an expiration date. The wise man doesn't mourn this truth, he welcomes it. Because the sooner her mask falls, the sooner he stops pouring his energy into an empty vessel. Her exit becomes a gift, not a curse. What looked like heartbreak is simply clarity. And clarity, though painful, always sets you free. Most men crumble when a woman leaves because they invested everything into her, her attention, her approval, her presence. They made her the center of their world, and when she walked away, it felt like she carried their very soul in her hands. But that's the illusion. If she has the power to take everything from you, it means you never had power to begin with. Real strength isn't borrowed from a woman's gaze. It's forged within. A man's peace cannot depend on her staying or going. If she remains, your peace should stand. If she leaves, your peace should stand. That is the true mark of an unshakable man. Here's the paradox most never see: when you stop worrying about her leaving, she often stops wanting to go. Women sense the energy of a man. When she feels desperation, fear, or neediness, she loses respect. But when she feels calm indifference, when she sees that your world doesn't orbit her, something shifts in her mind. She realizes you are your own sun, burning with your own gravity. That unsettles her in ways she can't explain. She starts asking questions in silence. Why isn't he begging? Why doesn't he need me? Why does he seem stronger without me than with me? The tension pulls her back toward you, not because you asked, but because your very presence challenges her. The man who stands firm doesn't just flip the script, he changes the entire dynamic. Instead of him clinging to her, she begins clinging to him. Instead of him chasing her approval, she starts chasing his presence. This is the hidden power of detachment. It's not about rejecting love. It's about showing, through action, that you don't need love to validate you. And that's the kind of man a woman can never forget. At the root of a man's fear of being left is scarcity. Deep down, many men believe the woman they have is the best they'll ever get. That belief poisons everything. It makes them tolerate disrespect, ignore red flags, and cling to situations that drain them. They accept crumbs of affection because they think abundance doesn't exist for them. But the truth is simple: your value is not negotiable, and it never decreases just because one woman fails to see it. She doesn't validate your greatness. She only recognizes it when it's undeniable. If she can't see it, that blindness belongs to her, not you. When you truly understand this, your mindset shifts. You stop asking, "What if she leaves me?" and start asking, "Does she even deserve to stay?" That is where your power begins. Because the man who is not afraid of losing a woman becomes the man no woman wants to lose. His calm detachment is addictive. His independence is intoxicating. His strength becomes her anchor. He doesn't chain his identity to her emotions, and that stability makes him rare in a world full of men who panic at the first sign of distance. And here's the paradox: the less you care about whether she leaves, the more she fears losing you. She feels the gravity of your presence because you are not desperate to hold on. You're too busy building, too busy leading, too busy becoming. That energy forces her to rise or get left behind. And if she does leave, it doesn't shatter you, it confirms she was never meant to stay. That knowledge frees you forever. Women may come and go, but your mission, your purpose, and your presence remain. That is the man who cannot truly be left.